Hello, scholars and listeners. Welcome back to another episode of Scholar Chit Chat. I'm your host for today, Ojay. And today, we're very excited to have Dr. Kelechi Ugwu with us. And Dr. Kelechi, who I'll be calling Katie going forward, is someone who has completed a master's in veterinary epidemiology at one of the world's leading vet schools, the Royal Veterinary College. And she was also managing some significant life changes, which I'll let her go into. But I know Casey. Yeah, because we met during our master's program together on different courses, the same university, but we went through that journey together, and I'm so excited that she's able to join us today. So I think welcome Casey. I think the very first thing I would ask is what motivated you to pursue your master's in veterinary epidemiology at the RVC?
Okay, thank you, Ojay. Thank you for having me today for the interview. My career interests have always been in the field of infectious disease prevention and control, not just in human population but also in animal population. So I decided to go for a program that embodies the two. Just like always, I'll recommend that one need to be intentional when deciding on or searching for a graduate program, because all things being equal, in the long run, your course of study will remain the foundation that will carry whatever career goals or plans you have for yourself. So for my case, I discovered that almost all the schools that offer epidemiology or public health related programs, their modules are not structured in a way that strongly address the epidemiology of animal and human diseases. So is it that they are solely centered on human health challenges then they will kind of superficially incorporate zoonosis, that is animal aspect of it. But then the MSc Vet AP at RVC gave me exactly what I wanted for myself. And of course, like that's why the program involved two schools, that is the RVC and LSATM, which is a renowned school in the field of public health. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really, really interesting. Like the insights you shared, like how education is the bedrock of, like, can be the bedrock of a career, and having
Yeah.
a good education or good degree in a interesting course, or let's say in a relevant course, can also set you up for great things. Right, so that's a very, very nice point to make. And of course, our master's was very unique in the sense that it was from two universities. So RVC on the one hand was really great. The London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine on the other hand as well was really, really great. So I would say
Yeah.
now, more than your decision to pursue masters, how was actually then transitioning to graduate school? Like, because I know, of course, like you, like me, you had to also leave your home country, which is Nigeria, and move to the UK. And I know we moved like in a bit. I don't know if I'll say post-pandemic, but we're definitely seeing pandemic because people had to quarantine. But it was kind of different from coming like right in the middle of the pandemic. So how was that
The
transition?
pandemic, yes. So actually, as the first time that I would have to leave my country, because that was actually the first time I had to leave Nigeria to another country. It wasn't a smooth transitioning, just like any other persons who have gone through the process. As you know, it requires a lot of intentional planning and preparation, and not just the visa application aspect of it.
Mhm.
It also involves emotional preparation, because of course you have to be emotionally prepared to embark on such journey. Then
Okay.
for myself, unlike every scholarship awardee, now the kind of happiness and that kind of euphoric feeling, I didn't experience that. Like, finally I'm moving abroad to advance my study or on a fully funded scholarship, which has always been a dream I was passionate about making it come to pass, because I was already, I think, pregnant. Yeah, I was already 4 months pregnant, and that's my first pregnancy. And frankly, I was afraid and anxious, because at that moment I had visualized and imagined difficulties I will be facing as a result of being pregnant and thereafter nursing my baby while studying, particularly that kind of, in quotes, tough program. Yeah, because I use the word tough because uh, one would say, how did you know that it's going to be a tough program or difficult program
Yeah.
when you haven't commenced classes? So, on getting to know about my situation, when after they sent us the award letter and all that, I think they will send another form that will require you to kind of state your health conditions. So, on getting to know about my situation, one of my tutors reached out to me suggesting that I defer admission, that the program is very rigorous and tough. So that's why I use tough. She made me to know the kind of program I'm coming to do. So my tutor was just being empathic, as she has been in the program for over 20 years. So she knows every in and out of the program. Though I didn't give in to the suggestion. However, I'm forever grateful for that our discussion and her openness, because it's made me to prepare my mind, and I traveled with this kind of a lioness mindset, so to say, that whatever obstacle comes my way, I'm going to pass. You get? So because if not for that our meeting, I would have traveled having in mind this unverified notion that people always say studying abroad is easy, when actually it's not. You get? So I'm actually grateful for getting informed ahead of time of the kind of program that I was coming to face with such my condition, because of course something made it to be a joint master's degree, which obviously made it to stand out from others. Yeah, that's it. It wasn't a smooth transitioning, like I said in the beginning. For me, I didn't travel with that happiness, because I know every scholarship award, they will always travel with that happiness. Oh, finally I've gotten this. Throughout the preparation, travel and all that, I was just emotionally not okay.
Yeah. Honestly, I can actually imagine, because I remember my own story is quite funny. So of course I was just, I mean, I left university like 2 years before I started my program, and I mean, I was not married when I started when I got the scholarship or anything. In my mind of minds, I used to think that it was only single or married people without children that used to get scholarship. I'm just So my first shock came when I met a co-scholar, first of all, in Nigeria. We linked up because I wanted to complete a process. And I met the person, and then the person was married, and the person had a child that was like 3 years old. I was like, so married women get scholarships as well. And it was, my mind was still reeling from that. And then I moved, and then it turns out that the person I was in the same university with, I met her, and she was heavily pregnant. I was like, okay, this completely changed. This completely changes everything. So I mean, it was really, really nice experience, and I really, really like applaud you, because for me, as I said, I was single, I was without children, and it was one of like the toughest times of my life. I think I've said it on this podcast before. It was really, 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 really stressful. And I think it's interesting that they called the course tutor called you and told you, oh yeah, defer this is going to be really hard.
Exactly. That it was very, very beneficial to me.
Yeah. And I also remember, like, in the first module of my program as well, when they were giving us introduction to the course, the guy told us, oh, this is going to be a full-time, that's the course director was saying, this is going to be a full-time master's, is going to be super intensive. And you just be wondering, why are these people telling you this thing? Like, it's school, we've gone to school before. Come on, Nigeria has stressed us. There's nothing that can stress us more than this anymore. And it's like, at the end of the day, like, these people are saying things that they really, really, they know what they are talking about, because it was some kind of intense and super training. And again, like, and again, like, we both know that we had like people in our programs that did not actually graduate at the end of the day. Like, I mean, not did not actually graduate, they had to resit. I think that's
they had to resit.
Yeah, they had to resit the exams. And again, in your condition, you didn't have to go through that, which again is a very, 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 very big deal. So yeah, but I think that's one of the reasons why I'm very, very happy to have you. So I think in the last month, I had an opportunity to interview someone, and it was a lady, and then she was talking about how she had dreams of going to graduate school, but now that she doesn't know because she just had a child. And I just thought, I'm like, I have reached out to cases to talk about this kind of things, like, because like there are certain things that people think should be limitations in their life don't necessarily have to be, right?
Exactly.
How
Yeah.
so I think this brings
It's
to my next
it's
question. How did you balance it? Like how did you balance the graduate studies with your other life responsibilities? Like how did you manage your time?
okay doing the application or do the
I think it's both ways. Like I don't know, were you already pregnant when you were applying?
no, I was not pregnant, but
Okay.
I think I was 2 weeks pregnant when I got the nomination nomination letter. So I was already 2 weeks pregnant. I can remember.
Right.
So to me, what actually worked for me, the time we started the program when I came to the UK and commenced my program, actually to successfully ace your graduate study abroad, you need an excellent time management skill. Is strongly required. So I want to just use myself as a case study. What worked for me,
Yeah.
it might not be the same as any other person. So because at that time I already know that um, I was pregnant and there will be a time that I might be off classes, maybe the first few weeks after delivering my baby. So I designed a personal reading timetable and I did it in a way that whatever that will be taught from that time till my due date, I would make sure that I read them before encroaching on my due date so that afterwards I won't have long list of or kind of a piled lecture notes and videos to read and watch. That's after recovery.
Yeah.
It will just be the ones that I missed during delivery and shortly after.
Yeah.
Then again, what worked for me again, each time I attended classes, I did watch out for those students that asked intelligent questions, now.
Yeah.
So after lecture, I will meet them or during the online lectures, because most of our lectures were through Zoom, that is online. So I will just privately chat them up on the Zoom, requesting for further explanation. And sometimes it hits differently when your classmate explains a particular topic for you. So this really helped me, and I also made use of my personal tutor. Every student is assigned a personal tutor. So,
Because
and
your
all this
program
we are
had that.
kind of,
I didn't have that.
oh, I have a personal tutor.
Yeah.
And she was helpful. So, and I actually laid all these things down on that my timetable that okay, this is the time I will be doing student discussion, student personal tutor discussion. So my advice is just try and understand what works for you. Everybody won't follow my approach. Understand your situation and devise a means to scale through. There's always a means.
Mm.
So this just actually what worked for me, because I didn't pile up. I made sure that even though it was difficult because of my condition, but I utilized it. Anytime I'm not feeling that weak, I read to make sure that I cover up. I don't have lecture notes or video piling up for me, because I know a time will definitely come that I will be off classes. I won't have the strength to read.
Mm. Those are very, very insightful tips. I think, as you have said, time management is like one of those skills that is like super, super valuable. I think once you can manage your time, you'll be quite amazed with the number of things that you can actually do. Like you'll be
Yeah,
amazed at your capacity is just the truth. Like because everybody has 24 hours, right? And you see that the output that everybody gives is different, even within that same time.
yeah.
So I think my building up to what you just said is taking us, I think, a bit before actually the graduate school life itself. So this time management, is this something that you applied in your application, or I would say more broadly, what kind of approach did you take during your scholarship application? I don't know if you are like me, but for me, I didn't get a scholarship the first year I applied. So you may have gotten the scholarship the first year you applied or not.
First
But like
time,
what?
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, personally, I would say that there is no actually a clear-cut approach to apply for scholarships or writing the scholarship basis. However, there are basics you get. So coming from the angle of what worked for me and the tactics I have used to
Mhm.
successfully help some of my subscribers on YouTube to get their dream scholarships. Because I have
Yeah,
a
that's
YouTube
true.
channel.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
So
What
yeah.
what's the
So
what's the name of your YouTube channel so that people that
it's
listen can
just my
actually
name, Kelechi Ugwu. It's just my name,
okay.
Kelechi. Yeah.
So that's
So
good.
I would say that one need to apply smartness and you have to be intentional and strategic. So in every scholarship or graduate funding application, you must write at least one essay. whatever name that the scholarship tags it, you will surely write at least one essay. Some scholarship will have like more than 2 essays, 3 essays. The one I studied with, I think, have 11 essays. So and when you look, it's up to 11, right?
Yeah, it is.
10, or is it 10? So, and when you look at it in a broader perspective, you will see that all the scholarships, at least talking from the numerous international scholarships I've come across so far during the time I was applying, and this time I'm now mentoring people on scholarship. Every scholarship board is looking for one thing from their most qualified candidates, which is your ability to demonstrate your commitment to your career goals. Aside that, your academic achievement, that is in the case of first class or second class upper, you have to be able to demonstrate how the scholarship and program align with your aspirations and your commitment so far in your career pursuit. You get, so your CV, the scholarship essays, your recommendation letter should have at least 70% similarity when it comes to the information that they contain. Your CV shouldn't be saying, I'm just talking about what worked for me, because my CV can be, I made it in a way that my CV shouldn't be talking about A and my essays or recommendation letter will be saying B. So if possible, you can summarize, because that's what I did. I can remember, you can summarize your essay and send to your recommender so that every information you are putting up in your application will tally. Your CV shouldn't be portraying that you are, for example, a lion. Then when your assessors come to your essays, it will now portray that you're a bird, and vice versa. So I don't know if you get, Ojay.
I get what
I don't know
you're
if
saying.
you get my point.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, so I'm just giving example. So this is what worked for me, because the application, people think that a scholarship application is just that essay. No, both the essay, everything, they will put it into consideration to decide on their best candidate. So furthermore, the importance of a mentor in a scholarship application journey cannot be overemphasized. So I went to LinkedIn. I had to connect to people that I don't even know in person. So you need to get yourself attached or connected to someone who has been there, while still using your discretion to decide on which advice to take and the one to draw. And this actually will bring me to what I always tell some of the scholarship aspirants that do meet me for consultation. If you are the type that always want to be spoon-fed of every information, I think it is hard time you begin to gather your money to self-fund yourself, because study abroad might be for you, but scholarship, I doubt. Scholarship
That's deep.
will surely, it will surely test your critical thinking ability. So you have to, it's very important to get yourself connected to someone who has been there. It mustn't be someone in your circle. You can get it, because I got at least 2 persons from LinkedIn and 1 guy from Facebook. I reached out to them, presented my problems and all that, and they actually helped me. Their guidance helped me to put up some beautiful statement of papers. So yeah.
Those are very, very, like, I like the point where you said if people want to be spoon fed, then scholarship is not for them. To be honest, for a lot of people, maybe graduate school is not for them. Even you said graduate school may be for them. I'm saying if you like to be spoon fed, graduate school may not be for you, because as you said, it requires your critical thinking. So let's assume you get the scholarship or you get the admission and you get to the school. Who is going to do it for you? Let's assume you pay for a consultant to write the essay for you when your actual coursework comes.
That's the bitter truth that some of the scholarship aspirants don't want to hear, but that's just it.
Yeah.
The moment you realize it, the better for the person.
Yeah. So I think, thank you so much for sharing. I think a lot of times people are hesitant or scared to reach out to people, but I think that if you are, everybody will not say yes. Everybody does not even have to say yes.
Yeah, exactly. Not all the people that I reached out to said yes.
And some of them don't even have to say yes
matters.
Yeah, that's one thing. But like, as long as you don't give up, there are people who would actually engage you and who would provide insights. So as long as you're willing to work hard, the little thing they give you, just think about it as a seed and plant it and bury yourself and doing the work.
Exactly, as a seed.
So I think that one other question I'd like to ask giving the title of this episode, which would be like the perfect time for grad school. So I feel like you're going to say there is no perfect time, but I just want to hear from you that there is a, so for somebody that wants to go into graduate school now, what is the right time to start it?
To start applying, or
Yeah,
right?
generally, yeah, start applying, start thinking about, oh, I should go to, this is the
Of
time for
course,
me to
okay.
go to
So
graduate school now.
it's kind of a, as a graduate, there is no actually best time to start. However, the best time to start is still now. Do you
Mm,
get? So
yeah.
even if you feel you are not yet prepared, that
Mm-hmm.
is in terms of getting the required documents needed for admission and scholarship application, I would recommend you utilize the same time, and you are gathering these documents, such as preparing to write, let's say, IELTS, GRE, and so on, to search for different scholarships, talking from what actually worked for me, or your desired courses, schools. This will help you to come up with a strong application when you finally become ready. For instance, what I did during my own time, the year I got to know about the scholarship I studied with is not the year I applied. But knowing about the scholarship on time helped me. So what I did, I did my due diligence and explored the scholarship website, read about their selection and eligibility criteria. These two are actually different. I'll be coming to that after talking about this. So
Yeah.
yeah, is so like I said, what I did, I went through the scholarship website and then the program websites, because most information are not clear on the official websites of the program and the school. That is as regards maybe required documents. Then I started filling the admission application form, even though I knew I was not ready to apply yet, because I haven't gotten my IELTS as it is compulsory for my program. So I filled the form and got to the personal statement section, because if I don't know for your program, for the vet AP, you won't see the information about these personal statements, maybe information about the word limit or the information they want to be in that personal statement.
Yeah.
So, and which this personal statement and the word limit is now found on the last section of the application form. So what I did, I stopped. I didn't submit. This information is not on the website. That is the general school website. It is just embedded in the application form section. So as I was saying, this helped me to start writing my SOP on time, because they stated the kind of information they want on the personal statement and then the word limit. Before the next application window, I had already refined my SOP and CV to a better version. Then for those still in their undergraduate study, you have to be intentional. If your plan is to advance your study abroad, the best time to start is still now too. So start to research about schools, scholarships, graduate assistantship positions, including their eligibility and selection criteria. This will help you to firstly pick up a project topic that aligns with the field you want to specialize in. It will help you also to create a healthy relationship with your lecturers, because you'll be needing them for recommendation letters. It will also help you to be intentional with your final CGPA, because it is when you start looking for scholarship you will know that truly grades matters. For me, right from 300 level, I already know I will be advancing my studies abroad, and it really helped me a lot. And even during my NYSC, I didn't see it as a flexing period. I made sure I utilized the service year judiciously, including the money that came out of it. Like hunting for scholarship is capital intensive, because you are going to write IELTS, you may want to publish your undergraduate project, you may want to write GRE, or you go for online courses that are not free,
Yeah.
attend
Yeah.
conferences, all to boost your portfolio and all that. And all this require money. So you need to be
Yeah.
strategic and intentional throughout the hunting journey.
Mm-hmm.
Then talking about, I just want to briefly talk about this eligibility and selection criteria, because most at times, if I post some scholarship videos on my channel, I do see some comments such as, I have 2-1, I graduated with first class, I graduated with second class upper. If I apply, are they going to give me the scholarship? So these are the kind of questions that I do get. So it doesn't actually work that way. You get, or every program that offers scholarship, there is always eligibility criteria, you get. So these are the characteristics that qualifies you to apply for scholarship or the course. For example, if a program or if a scholarship says minimum of 2-1 or minimum of first class, if you have 2-2 and you apply, the selection committee or the team won't touch application. They won't review it because you are not eligible to apply. If you are not eligible, that is, if you have submitted the required documents, if your CGPA falls within the acceptable grade, then you apply. The selection committee or the team will then review your application together with all the documents you submitted. Then, while reviewing, they will now start looking out for the selection criteria, which are in addition with that your first class or your 2-1 or 2-2. Are you able to demonstrate your commitment to that your desired career path that aligns with the proposed course or that scholarship? So what skills have you acquired so far? Work experience, leadership experience, your volunteering experience, research experience, and so on. They will take all this into consideration. After carefully assessing all this, they will now draw conclusion and say, yes, even though this person have graduated with first class, but he or she is not the best candidate for us. Or yes, this person have 2-2 or 2-1, and he is the best, or he or she is the best or the right candidate. Eligibility is different from selection criteria. That is why you will see people saying, I have 100 publications, I have first class, yet no scholarship. But you see that one person with only first class, no publication, or second class upper, no publication, getting scholarship. Scholarship is all about demonstrating your fit for that scholarship and program you're applying for. That is in addition to all other supporting documents submitted. So I don't know if you have a different view about this.
No, I think you're completely right in what you said. Like, I think one good example I would say is probably like when you think about like the Chevening and the Commonwealth scholarships. Both of them are scholarships, but the kind of people that they are looking for are different.
Yeah.
So a lot of times Chevening, they're looking for like professionals. So people, they would say people who have 2 years work experience, who are sort of professionals. For Commonwealth scholars, I mean, nobody asks you for any experience really. Like, it doesn't really matter. You can even still be in your final year technically and apply. Or you just finish once you have your transcript and apply, and then you will get it. So that is what eligibility means. Like, you can have a first class with no work experience, and if you apply to Chevening, they will not accept you just because you're not eligible. Doesn't mean you're not a good candidate. I mean, normally you're worth a scholarship, but you are not worthy of a Chevening scholarship. So it's a different. So that's why knowing eligibility is like very, very important.
Before commencing the application. That's why I have to bring it, because you have to know. You have to be able to know. Okay, this is what they're looking out for. Then it's that you tell all your SOP, your CV to align with their selection criteria or the eligibility criteria, so to say. Yeah.
That's 100%. Thank you so much for that advice. That's really, really helpful. So anybody that's planning to apply, I would say, one, there's not really a right time. The right time, as you said, is now. So if you're in graduate school, if you're still in university and thinking about it, the time is now. You can actually start preparing now. If you finished the university many years ago or just a few years ago and you're thinking about it, start preparing now. Like, you can actually start preparing now. So that's it. So I would say, okay, so how about in case for people who are like undergoing significant life changes, like maybe someone who's pregnant, someone who's just had a child, someone who just got married, someone who, I don't know, what other kind of life changes, how would you suggest that they approach graduate school?
It's kind of a relative suggestion or decision. So, but applying for scholarship, like, it can be draining. Sometimes you cry, even if you're not pregnant, even if you're not passing through any life challenges. Sometimes you will cry and say, why are you even suffering yourself like this? And this is why it is very important to make sure that the reason you have decided to look for scholarship is not just to japa you get. Let it be that you want to be relevant in your chosen career path, your field of study, because if your passion is all built on you want to japa, you end up getting discouraged, particularly when you get 2 or 3 rejections. So because it is kind of a draining process, it's a difficult process. You don't even know when you're going to get it. Some people spend 5 years, 10 years applying for scholarship. So you have to build your determination on a strong passion that this is what you want for yourself. People with childcare, for me, I would say create time for yourself. Childcare is an unending journey. You can't say, oh, my child is also age, let me wait till when he or she is also. It's kind of an unending journey. So you can utilize your night. Always find the best time to suit your situations. That's what I always do. A friend of mine who is currently in Canada on a fully funded scholarship, I can remember he told me that during he's not married, he doesn't have a child, but I'm just trying to bring different advice on what might work for people. So he told me that during the break time, that is for his job, he will submit at least 10 code emails to potential supervisors. So he usually utilizes the break time to be submitted. So he will kind of draft out the emails maybe in the night. Then during the break time, he will complete them. Then make sure that he made sure that he submitted at least 10 code emails every day. And it actually paid off for him.
Yeah.
He got what he wanted. He's presently studying on a fully funded scholarship that is graduate assistantship that they normally give in Canada. So, and someone actually told me that he resigned from his workplace because the job wasn't giving him enough time. But for this, you need to check your pockets and your support system because, like I said, hunting for scholarship is capital intensive. We are not even talking about the data, the electricity aspect of it, that is to charge your phone, your money that might finish buying fuel to charge your gadget and all. My advice is don't say you don't have the resources to start or you don't have the capacity to start because of your situation. Once you start and plan yourself well, you will see a way to overcome those obstacles that you think are difficult to overcome.
Thank you so much for that advice. I think, as you said again, it's like that you just have to. Life is not going to be perfect. I think that's one of the things to accept. As you grow, as you keep growing older, things are going to be competing for your attention. Things are going to be competing for your interest. You just have to keep making like you cannot put your life on hold, right? So one of the advice I usually give people is just you have to know what you want. As you said, it's one of the things you kept saying. Like once this is what you're interested in, you've identified this is something you really, really want. You just have to go for it, regardless of the life challenges. Like I think in a way, life will make way, or you would kind of grow. You gain capacity to manage everything somehow. You'll be like a superwoman. I don't know, or a superhuman to manage everything that comes. Because I don't think like maybe Casey, I don't think that, I mean, the masters was definitely a stretching period, but in a way I don't think that it I don't know if you would say that is the hardest thing that you would ever do in your life. Not that you have done, but that you would ever do.
Exactly, yes.
So that you grow capacity, you take on something even bigger. Like you don't even know what you're going to do yet, but now you know that you have capacity for much more than you have thought about before. So so even if you have a baby, whatever your life challenge, okay, I think
even if you are pregnant, start applying.
Exactly. So I think the last question I actually want to ask you before we close for today is what was the most helpful thing for you when you started graduate school, like as pregnant or with your baby? What was the thing that made the most difference?
What was
the thing that made the most difference in making your life easier, or like in helping you achieve your goal?
Okay, during the study, right?
Yes.
Okay, like I said, connecting with people, helpful people, I would like to say godly people. You're one of the people that I would say that actually helped me. Then again, people that are married, having a kind partner or a partner.
I knew you were going to mention that. I was really hoping. I was trying to bring you here.
If not about, nobody's an island. God will help, but then physically, you need to surround yourself with kind people. You need to pray to God to connect you with kind people. Then again, your partner will also play a very huge role in in achieving your success during the study. That is, if you are pregnant or if you happen to be in my shoe. So yeah, having a supportive partner, having friends that are empathic, because you, in your own case, you are not even married at that time. You don't even know what pregnancy feels like, but you are kind of, I would say you are empathic towards my situation throughout that time. You are empathic, and it actually helped me. Remember the time I was writing my project, I called you that, Ojay, I'm tired. I want to stop. You told me, continue writing till the deadline. Anytime I remember that thing, continue writing. You say, oh yeah, I understand, but continue writing till the deadline. And that's when I pick up my laptop again and start writing. I say, if I write till the deadline, I didn't submit, I know that I've done my best.
Exactly.
So that's the thing.
Yeah.
Surrounding yourself, and like I said in the beginning, towards the beginning time, that I made sure that I connected with classmates that I perceive that they know what they're doing. So I reached out to them. We used to have this kind of group discussion, group reading through Zoom, sometimes through WhatsApp. So all those things helped me. All those things helped me. I didn't kind of, sometimes during the initial time, I was feeling this withdrawn because of my situation, but I sat down and talked to myself. I didn't steal now. I didn't commit any crime. I'm pregnant. And I've been now picking I carry for belly. So I had to just come out of my shell and started connecting with my classmates.
Honestly, like what you just said is just 100%. Like I think people sometimes can undermine the value of people. Like people are still like the greatest asset. Like as you said, have the most supportive partner. Because I know some people is that first of all, their husband will never allow them to travel as they are pregnant. They just start. The struggle starts from there. But and then some people will not have supportive partners even during the program, like child care. They'll be doing chairman and just make your life miserable. That's one. And then of course I said connecting with your colleagues, your peers, and everybody, people that you know can motivate you and keep you charged towards achieving your goal is very, very important, 100%. So yeah, I would say that's about as much as we have time for this evening. But thank you so much, Casey, for sharing your experiences, for sharing your insights. I know that people have gotten value on listening to this. I would say, of course, Casey continues to talk about graduate school on her YouTube channel. So you can just search for Kelechi Ugwu and you would find her, and you can listen to. I think she also shares opportunities. She goes into more details, showing your particular steps. Here we talk about experiences, but like if you want to actually see video of how to probably start on some things, that's her channel that you should actually visit for more insights. So I would say again, thank you everyone for tuning in. Keep an eye for the next episode, and the perfect time for grad school is now. Start applying now, and just make sure that your goals align with the opportunity.
Thank you everyone for listening. Thank you, Ojay, for having me.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Stop.
Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Scholar Chit Chat. If you found our conversation insightful and enjoyable, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to stay updated. We've got a lot more in store and we don't want you to miss out.
We are always diving into topics like this: academics, scholarship, professional life, and the international student experience. It's what makes Scholar Chit Chat your go-to podcast for a fresh perspective. Also, don't keep all this wisdom to yourself. Share this episode with your friends and family who could benefit from it. We are building a community of learners and would love for you to be a part of it.
Your thoughts matter to us. We want to hear from you. Drop your comments and questions in the chat, or send your questions, suggestions, and comments to scholarchitchat@gmail.com. Your input helps shape the future of Scholar Chit Chat.